Hello everyone, welcome back to the Techers. My name is Surmeet, and for this video, as I said earlier in a previous video, I'm going to explain what basically is object-oriented programming in very simple terms. All right. So from when I was studying, everyone was like, "Oh, objects, objects. What are objects in object-oriented programming and all that stuff?" They like a lot of people get confused, and even the examples that were taken was okay. You know what? Consider there's a class. Consider there's and a lot of people was getting confused between the terms like because we use class as the keyword and create a class to make actually an object. Now, in basic simple terms, what is an object? I mean, you can see the frames like these photo frames. I don't know. I can't say this is actually a photo, but like this decoration pieces. Yeah, so that's an object. My bed's an object. The light's an object. So same thing in programming. These are also like it happens in programming as well that this room is your main program and these are some objects which are there. That's exactly what happens. So I'm gonna take an other example. So basically, if you're making a game, let's say you're making a game and you are making a car game, let's for example a racing car game. All right, so in a car game, what would be the certain things? Your gameplay or race would be your main thing, like the main gameplay. For example, right, this is you just log into the game, you're racing, that's it. I'm not taking more like street, like I'm not taking a complicated race game, but like a very simple one. So let's say the racing is your basic gameplay, that would be your main function. All right, is main. All right, okay, sorry, yeah, is main. Now what else are required? So we can't literally just say yeah, you know, your car would be in the game is just a variable. No, because the car has more variables. All right, so car would be an object because it has okay. When we say an object in programming language, it is somewhat like a variable, but it has multiple different attributes. All right, um, for example, your int x is just one integer, that's it. But an object would have more variables, like it would have multiple variables and functions. So I'm going to explain with the same example as car. So a car would have attributes as uh, acceleration, um, horsepower, top speed, sorry, top speed, suspension, etc. So these will be attributes. Those can be your variables, all right, because those are one basic variable. So and the car is total object, and the car would also have functions inside of it, like how it does it function. All right, so it could be that you know a function would be driving, braking, not taking, braking, come on, my R key. All right, so these would be some other functions of the car. All right, similarly in the game, your map would also be an object, where the place where you're racing is an object. All right, and it would have other more objects. For example, trees would be an object, road would be an object, and then more objects like this in the map. People could be an object, people would be an object, you know. If it's street race, it could be street racing or any other, like even professional type F1 racing. They also have people for pit stop or something, I don't know. So yeah, these things would be object, and map would be like a bigger object, and it would be calling the other smaller objects like trees and all, and they will be placed in different places on the map. All right. So that is basically, so when one class is calling another class and they all becoming one total program to working as one, that all is called as inheritance. And this entire, like when you're calling one, when you're making an object and you're calling it into another, your main function, that is called inheritance. And when all of them work together to make one bigger program to actually run and make us look like, so basically our car game would be our entire base, full object-oriented programming based program. All right, so these will be thing. And also in car games there are some tuning add-ons. All right, so they will also be in objects. So all, yeah, they will also be objects. All right, so come on, my space. Yeah. All right, so that is basically why we use object-oriented programming. I mean, if it's, I hope it's clear. I mean, it's very simple. You have to like a little bit visualize it. You know, when you're making a game, you have a car, that's a different, that's a separate, entirely separate program, which is called inside your game. Because the benefit of all object-oriented programming is, let's say you're doing an update, all right, so but you're not doing an update on the gameplay, you're only doing an update on your car, all right, or even any add-ons, like you're making another add-on, all right, so there would be another separate program of class which would be your add-ons for your car, and you just want to use a suspension or air intake as an add-on for the car game. So you can just modify that particular class. All right, so that's just one part of the code. You remember, like, mind you, all these objects that I'm saying are entirely separate programs on their own. Okay, so when you're doing any changes, for example, in the car, I have selected a car in the game, and for example, I want to change the acceleration from, I don't know, like, okay, so not do acceleration. I will change the top speed from 180, and in the new update, I want to make it 250. All right, I want to make a new update. I want to make it a 250 top speed car. So I don't need to open my entire program. That would be benefit of this type of programming. I don't need to open the entire program, go to that section. I can just open my car object, which is like whatever car it is, just that car, and change it. And they can all, like, and it makes it so much easier. I know it sounds complex for now for simpler programs, but when there are complex programs like this, it makes it much more easier to make them interact with each other. All right, so even when the complex programs like this, for example, like this is being made, the only thing you need to, when the gameplay is happening, so every time a program runs, it doesn't have to go entire, like, remember, the programming languages are sequential, so it doesn't have to go from every sequence, check the conditions, or which car was it, then it call. Rather than that, you can just be like, okay, you know what, the car, this, for example, Mustang is selected in the game. All right, so it will just take that one, bypass all the other level of programming and everything, and it will just call, it will remember the selection, and all the different cars, all the different objects will interact with each other, and it makes it much uh, that's it makes that high level of programming possible. All right, so that's a level I can so that is one of the very basic, and like I'm trying to make it interesting also with the basic introduction of object oriented programming. All right, so that's basically it, and I will also be showing you other programming languages starting now because there are a lot of concepts to cover up. And I hope you're enjoying the videos. Do like, comment if you are enjoying it, or any other suggestions, please do comment on it. Thank you.